All right, September 13th, 2025. Here's that world of foosh, right? The eviction process. Mom and kids evicted, caught living in feces and filth. Look how many views he got. Can you see that? 177,000 views 2 months ago. So this guy's doing good for himself. Hey, what do you think? Well, we've got another channel that interviews people out on the streets. Where people are saying that people are going homeless. Why is that not moving? Oh my God. I'm in history. They're always changing things on YouTube here. Hold on a minute. See? Homeless people are going missing all over America. People are going missing, living homeless in America, and that's been going on for a while, but now it's getting worse. Now it's getting worse. Oh, this guy gets a fair amount of views too. Yeah, at least with that one, and he got a lot of views on that one. So people are lapping it up. Yeah, some people are saying the people on the streets are being kidnapped and sold off for nefarious reasons, and I believe it. Oh yeah, after what happened to Sierra, I believe it. And then we've got my channel with the subscriber count never really moving. It might go up 1, go down 1, go up 2, go down 3, go up 1, go down 2, go up 4, then go down 2. That's what happens there. And then here, yesterday, what was it? $7.02, and look what it is now. $6.66. Isn't that amazing? I don't even know why they even bothered to put, and they put so many ads on my videos. Like, seriously, it's a scam. The whole thing is a bloody scam. Yeah, I'm just saying. And then last video, world of foosh, right? Welcome to my world, okay? Facing homelessness, as he's going on making a 177,000 views, talking about some woman being evicted with her kids because of filth, and of course they're going to end up homeless, right? So everybody feeding into that, eh? You know what I'm saying? Go after those single mums with those dirty kids, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay, and what do I get? I get 20 views calling the dude out for how he uses other people's situations to subliminally antagonize a situation that isn't helping people. In terms of, he picks the worst of the worst with the eviction to make people angry, right? You know, oh, it's filthy, they got feces everywhere, blah, 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 they're getting evicted. If I was the landlord, I would do that too, blah, 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 you know, and so it just reinforces those that have money to be arrogant and haughty. Right? And then they take that attitude and they broad sweep. Yeah, they broad sweep. Well, YouTube continues to shadow ban my channel because that's what it's about here, people. With Tamika Johnson coming in with her little thumbs down. I'm just saying. Yeah, right. Tamika Johnson coming in with her little thumbs down. talking about how she's getting her bag on OnlyFans, and that she don't want no kids, at least right now, because she don't want to share. Well, I bust a butt working with urine and feces and blankets and this and yeah, right? You know, the yard work, I have to do porch work, and but it doesn't matter because, you know, we know what the arrogant and haughty people seem to think, right? Okay, so before I start my quote-unquote day, I was supposed to go downstairs today, but I can't. I have to do laundry. I have to do laundry. And I gotta keep pittering and just doing what I'm doing with, you know, the organization part of by the back door. I haven't been able to quite get it to where I can open it yet. And once I open it, people, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be spending too much time downstairs anytime soon, to be honest with you. I mean, my priority before these social workers showed up was the yard and the porch. I was going to do the weeding, right, to the best of my ability, do a couple of repairs, look around to see what kind of wood I got around. There's got a few pieces, but right, and then obviously the porch is a big one because it's leaking. There's a shelf that's rotted out because of the leaking, and it's buckling, and it's, you know, I need to deal with it. And, you know, I don't want to wait till next week because the rains are going to come and it's going to get even worse. And I mean, the rains can come at any moment, right? And so I am going to do laundry today because I have to. I have to wash pillows again. I like pillows, right? Because we pat him. So if he falls, he like on the couch, you know, you have your cushions, and then the where you put your arm on. I don't know what it's called right now. You know, it's padded, but because he's getting heavier, right? Obviously, he falls, right? Heavier, right? So I have to put an extra pillow there. So there's a pillow there, and then there's pillows over there, and, you know, and then there's a few pillows that are just whatever. And as the day goes by, and he's leaking out, and he's moving around, and, you know, he's leaking on blankets, and just whatever, or his clothes, or just whatever, you know, it piles up. Like every 2-3 days, I have to wash blankets and pillows. You know, I'm washing anywhere from 1 to 3 pillows, depending on where he moves in his little playground, right? And, you know, and the blankets have to be washed. You know, you're not talking just one simple little blanket. You know, you're talking 2 or 3, maybe 4, because you'll change them and you'll come back 2 hours later and he leaked out, and it's right. And you have to, and because it's so hot up here, you know, it starts to smell really fast, eh? So you have to be on it, right? And so, you know, I gotta wash. I have to. I can't leave it for another day. I crashed for 2 days. I did those videos, and I did a very simple, you know, cutting out those papers, those bags to make lining for Dutch ovens for sourdough. That was simple to do. It didn't take a lot of energy, physical energy, although it did, though, because I had to, you know, crouch with my back, and you know, and I was getting tired doing it because I had so many, but they were by the back door, so I have to clear it out. So I like, right? But then I did the videos. I burned off a lot of excess energy from worry, because I'm worried because, you know, I'm being gang stalked. I don't trust the process. They're not being completely honest with me. You know what I mean? I know the politics out here in British Columbia, Canada, right? You know, it only benefits them to partner up with whoever they partner up with, whether they're doing it under the table, over the table, it doesn't really matter. They get rewarded for causing mayhem. It wouldn't be the first time, you know, with my family. So I wouldn't underestimate anything at this point, right? Because it's too extreme, like it was with the yard. If I could have taken the city of Surrey to court with my landlord at that time to prevent what they did in January, I would have done it, but I wouldn't have won. I wouldn't have won because, first of all, you know, it's complicated. That's the first thing. And I'm sure there would be, you know, the roadblocks with the people that would deny this and deny that and dismiss this and tell you to do this, you do that, and then you find out it was the wrong thing that you did, so that you can't do it because you didn't do it right the first time, because you were officially told by somebody working behind some desk or whatever that, you know, you filled out the paperwork wrong, right? Or you didn't submit it right or whatever, you know, like it's just, So I sucked it up, right? And like I said, I'm paying for something that I don't even have a receipt for. Yeah. And now this, right? Which, you know, they're acting like I don't do anything or I haven't been doing anything. Well, when I get in my teeny weeny little dinky hall, okay, we're going to go through what's along the wall, because I'm, you know, when Rhea did what Rhea did, I was almost at the point before she did that, I was almost at the point of putting, at that time, everything into my room that I wanted into my room, in terms of a quote-unquote pantry, right? And take out everything that I wanted at that time out of my room, right? But as soon as what Rhea did and mixed everything up and put me on a hunt to see what the hell she stole, because she was so quick about it and she went from spot to spot to spot, I had to backtrack. And even now, I thought about something, my container with my cords in them for, you know, computer screens and adapters that have the bits, and I'm wondering if she walked off with that bin. It's just a small little Rubbermaid, you know, right? Like this, right? Because where I used to have it, it's not there. But I may have moved it into the playroom, so I'm so crossing my fingers it's in there. So even since April, because I think it was April when she came, right? I'm still looking for stuff that is missing. Whether she stole it or whether it's someplace else, I don't know. I haven't found my meat grinder yet. No, and I'm choked. So, you know, she did what she did, and it took me months to reorganize those home canned goods, with the turkey, the chicken with the beef and the pork or whatever, just whatever. And then, you know, I took out more fabric, a bit more up at the top and yada. And I still have just a little bit of leftover. Well, you know, I have leftovers sitting in the hall because I don't want to put too much more into my room unless I can take out, right? Because I'm in transition. You see, that's the thing. How many people make the decision? I'm already getting a freaking headache. How many people make the decision to sell their clothing, their shoes, their beautiful jackets, their jewelry, for the most part, or whatever, you know, their accessories, purses, and those kind of things. Personal items, right? That are basically vintage, where 97% of it you haven't worn for 15 years because you worked in a yard trying to protect your family to, you know, by having a house, right? You know, right? So I wouldn't lose the house because they always use the yard against me, right? So I work. I never got to wear my clothes. I never got to wear anything. And now I am where I am in my life. And like, you know, I am in my mind starting to think about moving, just not sure where I'm going to because of what the government's been doing with the housing market, with those partner groups and religious organized groups and whatnot, right? And what I want to bring with me and what I need. And I don't need those clothes anymore because, you know, I'm older now and my days, I lost that opportunity. I lost that opportunity when I moved into this house, just like I lost the opportunity to sew. But that doesn't mean it gives people the right to come in and start telling me to get rid of it because of yada-de-yada-de-ya, when whatever their reasons are isn't even feasible to Amari's and Andre's and my life. Okay? It's not even feasible at this point. Right? So what I'm trying to say is, for an example, last night, I don't know, the kids were gooning. I let Andre play on the computer, whatever, his little friends, you know, and a new friend came on that he hadn't played with for a long time, and like the boys, right? You know, the boys, the little group of boys that he likes to hang out with when he's running around playing. And everybody's online doing whatever they're doing. I said, okay, fine. And then it's just doing dishes and stuff like that. And I finished cutting up those papers, and I'm trying to, and my son wants me to go downstairs today. Tisha was supposed to take Amari. I phoned him up. I said, Tisha's not taking Amari right now. You know, maybe Monday or Tuesday she might. Oh, and I'm not going to come down. You know, you've been working hard just for like. Oh, no, you need to come down. I'm like, oh. So, but so I'm going to get yelled at today because I'm not going downstairs because I'm choosing to do laundry. I'm choosing to do laundry because it smells. Yeah. And it's not just simply put the stuff into the wash machine, wash it, rinse it, and then I have to hang it up. No. I either fill up the sink, depending on what it is, like if it's his like little shorts and stuff that we put over the diapers to try and prevent that leaking out, even though it will leak out, right? You know, or his pants or whatever. You know, I fill up the sink and I rinse everything out first and wring it out. Then I put it in the wash machine. Right? And depending on what's in there, I can do a normal wash with a normal rinse. Otherwise, the blankets and the pillows and, you know, and throw in a few pants and this and that. The first thing I do is I fill up the tub and I rinse it. I rinse it. And then I fill up the tub again with warm water and I wash it with soap. Then I rinse it. And then I hang it up. And if I leave it, the pillows and blankets or whatever, too long, you know, pee has a strong smell, especially when you're in a hot environment, right? It starts to ferment really quickly. It can permeate the fabric, and sometimes it's hard to wash it out. So, you know, there's a few times I might have to wash it again because I'm not satisfied with it. This is my routine every 2 or 3 days, okay? Right? And we're not just talking one load here, we're talking 2 or 3, because you're dealing with 2 or 3 pillows, you're dealing with 2 or 3 or 4 blankets, you've got two to 4 towels, and then you've got his pants, and this, and then, you know, there's Andre's clothes if he's not washing them downstairs, and yada-de-yada. So this is not a game, like, so anyway, last night, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, Andrea, we got to go to sleep because I slept for a little while. I got up, you know, I started the dishes and did whatever and did what, you know, did finish with the video and whatever. And, you know, and Mari's bouncing around. He's laughing. He's giggling. He's being his normal little self. Okay. So, you know, I don't know. I was doing something here. I was cutting. Okay. So by this time, it's going on 4 o'clock in the morning. I was sitting here at the computer. And by this time, Andre had turned off his computer. And Amari just didn't want to go to sleep. And Andre said, Nana, is this what he do? Is this what he does when I'm sleeping? In terms of bouncing around and laughing. And he, you know, Amari, you can hear him in the background when he's all happy and, you know, right, and honky-dory. And I said, yeah, that's what he does, Andre. You know, you're sleeping, and I get up anywhere between 1 to 5, right? Usually around 4 or 5, usually. But, you know, it depends. Depends at what time I go to sleep for a while, or however long I sleep. You know, it's up and down. I don't have a regular sleep cycle. But besides that point, you know, if I get up at, say, 2 o'clock in the morning, and, you know, I'm doing whatever I'm doing, whether I'm doing dishes or whatever, Amari will wake up 2, 3, no, maybe 3, 4, and he'll play for like hours. So of course I'm listening, I'm going back and forth, I may change him, I might give him a bottle. It depends, right? It depends on what time he gets up and how active he seems to be. And yeah, Andre's just sleeping away. And I said, yeah, he does that. He'll play for hours, people. And like if we were on the bed, let's just say, for example, I would literally have to get plastic rails that are high. Like I couldn't just use a normal bed rail to keep Amari from falling out of a bed, which is extremely high because of the mattress, okay? So in other words, he'd be in a cage. I'd have to cage him in, right? And his sleeping habits, like like if we were to try and put him to bed and leave him so that we can come out and do what we want to do, just because, that's supposed to be the routine. It doesn't work with Amari like that. No, because there is no fixed schedule. Like right now he's sleeping because he stayed up until 4, and even when I finally laid down at 4:35 or whatever it was, I think I laid back down by 5, he was still bouncing around. And I had to tell him, stop it, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Stop it, Amari. And he's grabbing, right? And pulling, right? He wants to, and I'm like, no, stop it. Go to sleep. Eventually he fell asleep, and he's sleeping right now. But he could wake up at any moment. He could sleep for a few hours and be up for hours after that. He could sleep for, he'll play catch-up sleep. And, so, like, I don't know what these people are thinking, because when I'm sleeping, Andre's watching him, usually. There are times when we're all 3 of us are sleeping, but with 2 of us sleeping close by, and he starts puking or making noises, there's a very high probability one of us will hear it as we're sleeping, and we wake up, and you get that heart of steel, and it's on. And within a few minutes, call 911, and then we're out of here. So, and I tried to count approximately how many times he's had seizures. It's about 7 times, something like that. Since it all started, maybe 8 at best. No more than 8, right? And there's been absolutely no mishaps. He's recovered from all of them, right? I don't think he's developed any quote-unquote cognitive brain damage from them, because seizures can create brain damage, right? Because the last time he had a seizure, the doctor said he doesn't appear to have, be getting brain damage from these seizures. And I said, no, I don't think so, because he's his old happy little self once he comes out of it, right, with the sleeping and stuff like that. But we put him to bed, and then we have to stay in the bedroom while he's in a cage, or we need to go into the cage with him. Yeah, that's no way to live, okay? And that's not fair, right, to ask us to go towards that direction when I'm working towards, well, how can I work on moving out of this house? Andre, what do we want to keep? Right? Like, what are we going to sell, and how are we going to sell it? And, well, I have to put it into categories. I've got to make it where people can come by and, go through it and have an opportunity to, think about what it is that they would like to have before, right? Try and put some up as much as you can online. But, and then, try and find another housemate in the event that I can't live with my son and his wife because of no affordable housing, because that's a big one with my son. There's no affordable housing. So if you live with me, all you get is 1 room. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not ready for that yet, right? And I don't think that Andre and I, and well, maybe not so much Andre, but yeah, we get just locked up into rooms where, Marina's now running around in her house abusing me because it's her house. She already abuses me, for crying out loud, and this is my house. So I'm a little nervous about that, right? I want a functioning kitchen where I can phase myself out of it in terms of cooking, because it's hard to see the food in terms of the colors, right? And whatnot, right? But I definitely want a functioning kitchen so that when you're making foods, I don't care for whoever, you know, you have enough counter space, you have access to your utensils and your appliances and yada yada. But especially for Amari, ideally you have 2 fridges, one for overflow with meal preparation in there for Amari, pre and advanced, right? With the pureed foods and that type of thing, whether they're frozen or not. And then you have your other fridge just for the daily living part of it, right? Will I ever get a kitchen like that? Well, probably not. But, you know, like, I don't know. So I put the call out anyway to see if, you know, there's anyone interested in considering, you know, sharing a house with me, so that I don't have to pressure my son and his wife, because they're working on having a baby. Okay. I'd be very surprised if Marina could carry a baby by Marcane for full term. Marcane produces big baby. Well, Marcane was a big baby. He will produce a big baby. More than likely, he will produce a big baby. And by big, I mean 9 pounds or more. That's a big baby. And Marina is tiny. She's small like me. And she's never had a kid before. So it's going to be really, really hard on her. I'd be very surprised if she could carry a baby to full term. Never mind push that baby out. Coming from Marcane, because Marcane's a big boy, you know. But the thing is, they're in that arrogant class where, you know, my son makes good money. Obviously, Marina's selling fabric, because I can see what she's doing down there and how she's doing it. So I'm pretty sure she's selling fabric online. She wouldn't help me to sell my fabric, but she's selling her fabric. So she's stockpiling on fabric to, you know, to sell online. I can see exactly what's going on. So, but they won't help me. They're just waiting for me to disappear so they can take my fabric and sell it. Versus helping me to sell my fabric, they'll just wait for me to have a nervous breakdown and die, right, basically, so that they can inherit it and do what they want with it. And if I move into a house with them, well, we already know the rules. You get a room, Mom, that's it. That's where you stay. I had that dream. You just put me in a room. You locked me in there. You ignored me, right? You abused me, you know, whatever. And then you were building another room for the kids. That's exactly what was going on. Yeah, and I can't. That's no future for us. As the last ditch solution, maybe you have no choice, maybe. But there's still, you know, like, but with the social workers running me out of the house, trying to bankrupt me and put me more into a slave state with psychological warfare where there's no penalties yet. Oh, what's that the hell supposed to mean? I work every freaking day. I go to sleep to go to work. I work. I'm getting ready to work right now. I'm going to start laundry again. Well, my son will be crabbing on, well, why? You said you were going to come down. I can't, Marcane. I have to wash the freaking clothes, because the blankets and the pillows and stuff, because if I don't, by tomorrow, the heat in the house with the smells is just going to permeate, right? And it makes it harder to wash the shit out. As fast as I'm washing, I'm having to wash again. And I have to cook for Amari. I have to. And when I get outside and open that door, I have to do the porch, and I have to put away what they pulled out when they had that mouse guy come to start caulking up all the cracks in the stucco. Okay, and along the windows, which I'm paying for, people, to keep mice out as they're being pushed out of, you know, where they're building. When they started digging into the ground and building and like digging out the hole and everything, and you're right, you know what's been going on 2 doors down, okay, and all that shit down there. The mice are fleeing, and they're trying to get into houses to hide, and that's why we got that problem after 14 years. It was because of this shit that they're doing with their property development, okay? And so, you know, my son wanted, so, you know, like, there's no talks of rats and none of this shit, you know, it's like, whatever. So I paid like $160, I don't know, every 2 or 3 months now. And I'll be doing that for a damn year. And the only thing I ever found upstairs was one mouse. Just one. There's just one mouse. So I'm paying like $600 or whatever the hell it is for one freaking mouse. And then, of course, because the guys came to do the stucco and, you know, to put the foam between the window frames, which should have been done, I guess, when they installed the window, but they never did. So anyway, that stuff should be done. Now there's a big pile there that I have to move and put back. That was in, you know, just whatever, before the rains come. So I technically, honestly, and I have to do the porch, even just if it's, you know, it's going to take me 4 days, 5 days to do the porch. I have to. I don't have a fucking choice. And then my son will get mad. Oh, yeah, well, I have to pick my battles. Okay? Maybe you don't mind going outside working in freaking pouring rain with whatever you do out there every day. But, you know, it's a little harder for me because, you know, my immune system isn't as strong as yours because clearly I'm overworked and I'm older than you. And, you know, yeah. So I'm doing laundry today, and I'm going to get yelled at because I'm not going to go downstairs and start with that heavy duty shit that they created. That mess downstairs is them moving my stuff around, whatever. It's been like that for a while. It can stay like that still for a little while while I pick on the few things up here. And, you know, the stuff that's in the hall, and it's not a very big hall. I could take a measuring tape, and I bet you it'd be no more than 12 feet long. Okay, that's not a very big hall. That's not a lot of space, okay, to have in terms of, you know, spillover, right? And what it is there's some Tupperware containers that I had in my room, but when Rhea did what she did, of course I had to pull out stuff to figure out what the hell she did, and then put stuff back in. And the Tupperware containers I basically left out, and they just been sitting there. I have a bread box there that I don't really want to throw out because, you know, it's wood and it's beautiful, right? And, you know, if I had counter space for it, I would put it there. I used to have it on the counters, but I bought an air fryer. And, you know, I brought out the Wonder Mill, and I bought a food processor, so that when we get more involved with Amari's meal making in bigger proportions, I thought I'd try a food processor versus a blender. So that kind of took that thing out. But then I got a printer here that I want to put over there. So I'm going to take this little bread thing, and I'm probably going to put the printer on top of that. But, you know, that's not the priority. So it just sits there, right? And then I've got these little jars, yogurt jars with lids, that I pulled out from the small bathroom that are all in a box because I want to make those little snacks for Amari. So it's sitting right there. But it makes me look like I'm irresponsible. Oh, I'm going to open the box, and I'm going to show you the little containers. Because as soon as I get my kitchen a little more cleared out, I'm going to do those snack cups with the real whipping cream, layer of pudding, layer of whipping cream, a layer of grounded up blueberries that I canned, a layer of pudding, and a layer of whipping cream. That's all pureed and perfect for Amari with a lid on it. And I'm going to stack them in the kitchen, in the fridge. And of course I have to make for Andre, and you know I'm going to want some. What? I'm not allowed to have that box there because there's really no place else for it because the house itself is too small? I have extra things because of Mari, just because. Pillows, blankets, you know, just whatever. Just diapers, boxes of drinks, You know, I'm going to be using those little containers for whatever. I had to buy little, you know, I didn't have to, but I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to create that system where, you know, there's not too many interruptions in between the feedings, right? With the real food, that is, not the drinks, but the you know, the turkey and that kind of stuff. So I bought those glass containers that are proportionally sized, so that, right? But no, I got some, no, I don't know. I'm running around like a chicken without my head on, having a freaking nervous breakdown, wondering what those penalties are. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I work like a damn dog. And yeah, so anyway, I'm doing laundry. I don't care. My son can scream at me. He can call me names. He can get mad. He can do whatever he wants. You told me you were going to do this. Yeah, well, I got pissy blankets, pissy pillows, pissy clothes. You just whatever. I need to keep, I have to be up on it so that, you know, people like, what is that, World of Foosh can't use me as an example as to why people like me who are poor, sitting ducks to God knows what, can be evicted from our houses, thrown out, tossed out onto the streets, and then be criticized because we're out there, because somehow we made the bad choice to be out there. And then when we start losing our family members out on the streets because we're dying here, dying there, or disappearing. The new thing is everybody's starting to disappear. You know what? You deserve what you got, because, you know, if you would have made better, you know, it's just like, it's just, same old rhetoric. That rhetoric is, you know, So yeah, I'm getting a headache because I'm thinking about my son getting angry with me because I can't go downstairs just yet. And I know as soon as I open that back door and I'm on that porch, the porch is going to become the priority. And so is that stuff that they moved away from the house when the mouse guy came to do that stuff that I'm paying for. Even though all I ever had was one mouse upstairs. And that was it. And that was one mouse that came out from underneath the stove and got into a box and had a party by itself. Yeah. And whatever the hell was chewing up there has been gone. Gone. Because the cats caught it. That's why. That was a rat. That was a roof rat. The bigger ones. And the cats caught it. Because every now and then, over the years, I see them climbing on that rotten roof, right? Or they get into the X Club sometimes, right? And usually the cats catch them. And they're usually loners. Unless, of course, they're nesting in the ground outside somewhere, because they like to nest in the ground, right? More so. I'm not saying they don't live in houses, because they do, but that's not the problem that we've had in this house. The problems that we have in this house are drainage problems, which I'm pretty sure that, you know, some pipe outside in the laundry, something's going to back up soon. So then I have to get Alex to come by and pay him to snake it out, or babysit, or do something like that, in order so that my landlady doesn't have to pay for it. You know, it's like stupid, man. Anyway, I'm having a nervous breakdown over laundry that I have to do. Yeah. And just, I have to get into these buckets that are in my kitchen and just get the ones that I think I want down and get into I'm going to try and get into the small bathroom today and get that one big bucket that's got that jasmine rice, that six gallon bucket that has that jasmine rice in it. Plus I got a Rubbermaid bin, a couple of them in there with spaghetti, macaroni, and all that, but I don't have to dig those out right now. They can just stay where they are, right? And, because I've got in my room and stuff, right? But yeah, and then work on just clearing out this little hall part on this side, right? So they can say, well, and I'll be like, no, we're in transition. If you want me evicted, give me an eviction. Because the way it's looking like is you're working towards that. You're not working to help me stay in this house for any length of time outside of, at the convenience of when you want to implode it. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah. And being that you don't want to help me find affordable housing because that's not your job. And you know this place is just going to come to an end sooner or later. And just the way they're going about things just makes me think that they're trying to make space for a different family. Because there's kickbacks to it somewhere in there. Through those penalties. Yeah, through those penalties. Which is ridiculous. So yeah, Amari bouncing around at 4 o'clock in the morning, and even when I said, Amari, stop it, Nana's got to get some sleep, go to sleep, he's still bouncing around. And now he's sleeping. To which I need to wake him up very soon so he can get his medicine. And then once he's up, he's pretty much up all day. He may take a little cat nap in there, maybe not, maybe so, I don't know. I just know that he's alert, he moves around, he's happy, he's active, you know, he thinks, he communicates, and yeah. So there, problem solved. Tisha just called. She wants us to babysit. Yeah. Between 2 to 11 o'clock tonight. Which means it's going to be a big bloody mess, and I just cleaned it up. And it's so hard to keep Kyrie out of those things. I tell him, you got just this little bit of toys. You don't need all the toys. But he likes to explore. So I give him that opportunity to do that. So, I don't know. We'll have to just see how it goes. Tisha said she's going to come by on Monday and help me. With what? I don't know yet, because I have to go on my energy level. Right now I have energy to do laundry. I'm going to go through these. I have a bucket there with that oatmeal that came from Save On Foods way back in the day, and I already put them into Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers because they were perfectly fine, and they have a long shelf life, and yeah, and then so I'm gonna put that off to the side, and then I'm gonna go through these buckets, see which ones have to go downstairs. Some of them still need to be filled, which I've got jars here, but I have this pending headache. Well, yeah. It's a tension headache, that's what it is. Right? And just poke away at things and do laundry. And cook. I'm getting the stove ready to cook for Amari. I bought these little blenders and one blew out real freaking fast. Honestly, I think it was sold used. Or this one, I think, is okay. We haven't used it yet. And then we've got the old backup one. And then I've got this blender. Whatever. And now that I've subscribed to this guy, I get even more of his videos popping up. The most dramatic mom ever caught on body cam shoplifting with autistic, and then the last one is child. And he got 19K views on that. Because it's negative. Now my videos get negative, yeah, they do, because I walk you through it with the bullshit that I have to go through. But when people are watching videos like that on a regular basis, and from more than one channel, and more than one, I suppose, quote-unquote content creator, it's kind of like a form of bashing, right? You know, they take the worst of the worst, and they mock it. They use it as a means to, subliminally build in that arrogance for the ones that are watching that want to cast judgment and elevate their own self-esteems to end up broad sweeping those below a certain income level, or who are caught up in drama like I get caught up with the gang stalking within the various, ministry agencies within the government, in terms of what I've been going through with my grandkids and the murder of my children and the medical kidnapping of Uncle John and yada yada, just the politics around, well, gee, if we get rid of Judy out of that house, we can move in an immigrant family and make $5,000 a month on that house versus $2,250 a month on that house, right? And Andre can just go out on the streets, and Amari can be put someplace else. And if Judy doesn't do it and decides to take him to the homeless shelter with her because he wants to be with his family, who is Andre and basically me, then all of a sudden I quote unquote become irresponsible, even though it was the social workers who pushed me out of the house through psychological warfare and illegal acts in terms of what are the penalties, because I'm sure it would be illegal, whatever it is that they plan to penalize me with, for not moving out what I'm going to show you in the hall fast enough, and then go to the next place where they point their fingers and say, get rid of that. I'm just using that as an example. Right? Okay, so instead of starting with a button to make button soup, we start with a little turkey leg. There it is, right there. So I guess I should go rinse it off. Yeah, I just recently froze these. So we're going to put that in there with some water. We're going to start stewing that, and we're going to make Amari some food. I'm talking with Andre, right? I'm doing a video, Andre. 2 years ago, when these social workers came, it was a different one, right? Anyway, back then, like the bedroom, the beds were cleared off. There was no fabric in there. There was no clothes. There was none of that crap. But we weren't using it. Because I know they opened the door, right? And they looked inside, and they seen it, right? But we weren't sleeping in there. We couldn't. It doesn't work with Amari. Okay? Well, we used last night, like, for example. Let's just say I say, okay, and like Andre and I, we've already discussed it. It's like, time over again. Like, our plan is to figure out what we want to keep, try and sell as much as we can as we build in a system where it works, categorizing things, and try and find another place where we can bring our cats, right? Because Andre wants to keep the cats. I know what I'm looking for to, with the big mattress on the floor, with the bean bags and the piano and the TV, the old TV, with the VCR, with the VHSs, Land Before Time, that kind of stuff. I know what I want, right? A few bookshelves around with some of this miscellaneous craft stuff, kids stuff, or whatever. Because grandkids are coming over today, you know what I'm saying? And yada yada. So let's just say we could use that bedroom right now if we wanted to, which we wouldn't. Because, okay, Amari, it's 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, doesn't matter what time. Okay? Midnight, 9 o'clock at night. It's time for bed. You're going to bed. I'd have to put him. It's big mattress, like double mattress with the bunk on top, right? So he's already got boxed in from the top, and I'd have to get metal or plastic rails high, where basically from the mattress to the rail of the top bunk, I'd have to pencil him in, pretty much, right? Except for, right? Because otherwise, if I use a standard bed rail, he'll pop out because he'll lift up and he'll fall out. And they got to be a certain kind of rail, because if I don't use a certain kind of rail, he can get his body parts locked into them, right? And it has to be metal or hard plastic. It just has to be. So right there is the big problem. Now, you can't really leave him by himself. So, Andre, you have to go to bed now. Okay? And listen. Whether you're on the bottom bunk with Amari caged in a cage, or whether you're on the top bunk with Amari and he's caged in on the bottom moving around. And you have to stay there for the rest of the night until I come in. Because, you know, I'm going to be doing whatever I'm doing. I'm going to put a little bit of a bay leaf for flavor in this time. Just one. And I put some garlic in there, a little bit of salt. I'm just starting to cook the turkey, right? And, yeah. Audrey doesn't want to do that. I already asked him. He said, no, I'm not staying in there. You know, like that. And you don't know what time Amari's going to go to sleep. He might not go to sleep until 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And you have to pencil him in, because if you're in there sleeping on that bed and he wakes up and sneaks off because he's a Houdini baby, and there's no way to keep him on the bed because there's no proper railing, he'll get hurt. That's what I mean. Like, it doesn't work. When they looked in that room 2 years ago, there was nothing on the bed, nothing on the top bunk, right? Because, you know, right? I wasn't in transition with starting to sell my clothes and turn my room into a pantry and take out fabric, and right? But we didn't use it, and they knew it. You see, that's the thing. Where do you sleep? We sleep on the couch. They knew it then, and they know it now. Right? But they're trying to play on Andre's emotions as if he's losing out on something. And then that's when I remind my grandson, my grandmother had 5 kids on the farm in a one-room house, right, with a wood stove to heat waters, and then they all took a bath in a wash tub, one after the other, as they'd go outside and get the water, heat it up on the wood stove, and pour it into the tub, and repurpose that water as each person went through that tub. Yeah, and then go outside to use the washroom and in a latrine. And when you go into Alberta, you're looking at 40 below weather with snow, and this is farm country, Mundare and Vegreville, right? They came from Mundare. You got snow. Like, I'm serious, it's like 2 feet high, if not even higher, depending on the snowbanks that come in with the winds and stuff. And, yeah, 40 below. You can't go outside unless you've got freaking long johns on, wool socks, muffs, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. And that's how they lived. So, you know, I'm not saying we live like that, because we don't. I'm just saying sometimes you just have to kind of work with what you have. And even if they think they can convince me to throw away my stuff, which is a form of theft, because this is expensive stuff that we're getting into here. It's just another smash and grab. It's just a different kind of a technique for something that we won't use. We just won't use it. It's not conducive to the special needs of Amari and the special circumstances around Amari, to which you don't know when he's going to fall asleep, right? And even if you want to fall asleep, he'll still bounce around. You're not sure when he's going to wake up, because, you know, I guess he's kind of like me. He goes and, you know, he goes like, you go with your energy, right? And he's a high energy kid, right? That's why he burning off all this energy, because he's always moving around doing something, when he's just not laying there chilling with Andre, you know, feeling safe and comfortable. Okay, so yeah, what are they going to do? Yeah, I was going to be like, no. As for the other room, Andre doesn't want to sleep in there, even if we cleared it out. It's above Marcane, and Marina, and he's not interested in that. And even if he could, he still at this point wouldn't do it, right? Because he's like, Gina, last night, is this what he does when I'm sleeping? Because that's what he does when I'm sleeping. That whatever Amari was doing is what Andre keeps an eye on when I'm sleeping. But because it dragged out to be so late last night, he goes, you know, is this what he does when I'm sleeping? Yeah, Andre, he'll wake up at 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. He'll play for 2, 3, 4 hours, depending on what's going on. Right? I change him, I feed him, right? He bounces around, I give him his little bear, and then he'll fall back to sleep. And then eventually I wake them both up for Amari's medicine, and that's when we start the daily grind. Through through what's the priority. Like Andre came in, he made him his blueberries, his kiwi, his hemp seed. What else did you give him with that? A little bit of milk? Yeah. And a little bit of milk. And right? So, you know. And now I'm starting his turkey. I'm going to do an 8-inch full of vegetables, broccoli, some bok choy, whatever I can find in there. I'm going to, and maybe a little bit of red pepper, right? So that it's already pre-made, but we already know that only lasts for about a day and a half, maybe 2 if we're lucky, to space it out between everything. So yeah, no, it's like right. So that's what I'm dealing with. Alright, so got the laundry starting to rinse first. And then I wash, and then I rinse again. And if I'm hanging them up and I don't like the way they smell because, you know, it starts to permeate into the fabric and it gets hard to wash it out, I'll wash it again. I'm just saying, that's the way it goes around here, right? And this is a daily, it's the rigmarole, that daily grind, every 2-3 days, all right? So, in the meantime, I'm just taking a little break here, right, for a second, getting ready to get into these buckets to figure out what I'm going to do with them. So, 2 million people just been cut off of food stamps, okay? And that's not including the people that have already been cut off. So, I told my son, there's going to come a day when you're going to see a famine. Not me. I won't be around to see it. But
Trump don't cut no food stamps off.
I do believe that there's going to be a whole lot of hungry people. And with the homeless people disappearing off the streets throughout every state and in Canada, okay, because they're being lured off to their death, used in snuff movies, they're being hunted, right? Obviously, illegal organ harvesting is a big one. And then you've got the scientific aspect where, you know, they need the body parts for their robotoids and their skin and hair and whatever, nails, whatever, to make the robotoid look human. And then, of course, there's the food chain, right? I'm just saying, people. Soylent Green.
Trump don't cut them food stamps off.
If you're poor, don't have kids, okay? If you're struggling, don't have kids. Don't bring more in. If you already have them, that's another situation. If you don't have them, don't bring any in. And if you have 2, don't go having another one. If you have 1, don't go having 2 more. Be wise.
That's not going to solve what's going on in terms of the depopulation agenda, the you will have nothing and be happy and swing from a tree like a Tarzan, okay? And that's not, whatever her advice is, isn't going to stop that for the masses. I'm just saying.
Clothes and legs.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350.
So they say 2 million is getting cut off this month for the scam.
And that's just the beginning. That's not including their Medicaid being cut back. And we already got those kind of quote-unquote cutbacks in Canada, where with free health care, Good luck finding a doctor to get referrals for that. Or yeah, good luck getting your long-term disability forms filled out in a timely manner where it actually makes sense. Yada yada yada.
I'm about to go find out if I'm in that number, in that ratio.
It's been day 5, and I have not received no food stamps. My disability check is on hold.
Oh, she's on disability and her check is on hold, and she's not received any food stamps.
Cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job.
So that's the next body on the streets to fill in the gaps for the ones that are disappearing, because it's an assembly line. Right? Human beings are being processed like cattle.
To pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of. I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok, and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents?
Huh, hold on a minute. All right. I had to push down the fabric under the water to make sure it gets, processed properly. I'm just doing the first stage. I'm just rinsing it before I start washing it. Yeah.
If you're watching this fucking video and you can't send me nothing, I'm blocking you. I'm fucking blocking you. 50 cents. My kids have not eaten in 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
So how is that possible that you got, did she say 5? And they have, or no, her kids haven't eaten for 5 days. And this is just the tip of the iceberg coming, people. And social workers want to mess with me and implode the house from the inside out as they're trying to convince us that they're trying to help us. Yeah, when they come with their food voucher, if they come with one, I'm going to tell them I don't want it. They'll be, why? I'll say, what for? It's just a trap. I got food in this house that can last for 3 years. So I already told you, if I was to take it, it would only be to buy one shop for like, $150, $200, whatever it is that they give me for the milk, the eggs, the whipping cream, the hemp seeds, a few bags of potato, 2 bags of potatoes, right? Because, Marquand cooks for us downstairs, so we give him a bag, and that bag is gone within 4 days. And I'm talking 20-pound bags. So, and then when he runs out of potatoes, he's asking for more potatoes, and because we got our bag upstairs, there goes down another 8 more potatoes. So, it's not like, right, and that you do that one little shop with the eggs. I buy 4 cartons of eggs, a whipping cream, maybe 2, a carton of freaking cottage cheese, 2 milk, right, a thing of hemp seeds, maybe a little bok choy with a broccoli or something, with 2 bags of potatoes. By the time you're done doing all that, it's $150. But for what it's worth, just keep your food voucher, because I got powder milk in the house. I got powder eggs in the house. You know what I'm saying? I can make bread. I can make any kind of bread that I could possibly want. I've got canned butter, home canned butter, and still nicely sealed in jars. I've got frozen butter. I've got freaking tallow. I got tallow in the fridge, like in the freezer. I already canned some of that tallow that was emptied out from the other freezer. I've got lards, whether it's like lard bought from the store or whether it's lard that I rendered from pork fat myself, right? You know what I'm saying? I got canned vegetables, canned fruits, home canned vegetables, home canned fruits. I've got pastas coming out of my yin yang. I've got rice coming. I got beans. I got practically everything. I've got seasoning salts. I've got seasoning this, seasoning that. I've got herbs. I've got beans. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they want to implode the house because they're going to make me clear out a room that nobody's going to sleep in just so they could say that they did something. Yeah. Because I discussed these things with Andre. Right? And neither Andre and I want to go in the bedroom and lay on a bed to try and get Amari to go to sleep. And even if he went to sleep, there's no guarantees that he'll stay asleep because he likes to be with us, and it's a hit and miss, and he'd have to be locked in like he was in a cage, and we'd have to climb in and get into the cage with him. Like we have a special child with special needs with special circumstances. And that's just a fact. And we've set up a system that works well for him, where we can navigate around it and not have it disrupt us to the point where we're completely depressed about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we have an escape. We're working on our way out of this house. I don't plan on staying in this house. I know I can't stay in this house. And wherever the hell I'm going, those social workers aren't going to help me to get there. But they'll show up once I get there to make sure that it's safe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. And start the process all over again? Well, you didn't pick a very good house. It doesn't have this amenity. It doesn't, you can't do the, right? Whatever. When we're starting fresh. Andre and I are working on starting fresh. We're making plans. We're working towards that. Things like that doesn't happen overnight. In the past, when I decided to move my family as a whole, didn't matter how many were in the house, could have been 7, could have been 9, whatever was in the house, and I'm like, okay, John, do you want to move? Yeah, okay, all right. I'd give myself a whole year, people, just to pack up. A whole year just to pack up. And then I'd move my family, and I'd give it another year to completely unpack. Where this place, I moved in, and right from the get-go, my shit started getting ruined on the porch as soon as spring came, and I went in there, and because I started to build the X Club pretty much right from the beginning, right? And that leaky roof, and then yard. That was it. I lived in the yard. I lived more in the yard than I did inside the house, but I still held down the fort. I still took care of 9 people in this house. Okay? And I built in food security. Yeah. Well, we've got people here crying that they can't even afford to feed their kids, regardless of whether they get a welfare check or food stamps or whatever it is. The point is, this is how crass our governments are. They'll just wake up, pull out this rug from underneath your feet, and that's it. And if they can't derail you one way by doing something stupid like cutting off millions of people from food stamps, they're going to come into your houses and they're going to start telling you to get rid of your shit. But if you can't afford to buy food, well, you're going to lose your house. One way or another, they're going to make sure you lose your house. And they're criminalizing and making it illegal to be homeless. So they're scooping them up off the streets now. People just up and disappearing. But that's nothing new. That's been happening for a long time. Luring them off to their deaths, hunting them. You know, I've always thought in my mind, you know, I do believe this, people. I do from the bottom of my heart. You know, they want that path around the house cleared so that if the cops are chasing some person, right, for whatever reason, and the person is running through my yard, the cops, they don't want no interference to get in the way of catching them. And it's not that they're catching them because maybe they're doing something wrong. It's the fact that they're catching them to injure them, to have them disappear. Like that guy across the street, right before my eyes blinked out on me when Andre and I were recording what was going on when that SWAT team took over Debbie's house and that white hearse drove up. I'm positive they took that guy out in a body and put him in that hearse, and then they tried to tell everybody that the guy ran away. It's bullshit. It's total fucking bullshit. No, that was, I don't know what the hell, those were super soldiers that had been altered already by this point with that Borg crap, robotoid crap or whatever, okay? It was nothing normal about what they did, as they put a freaking SWAT guy with a rifle at the bottom of my stairs to make sure that I wouldn't run out and really record the shit, okay? With the excuse that they didn't want the guy to escape and run through my yard, which was a bunch of crock. Oh yeah.
You know, people are out here scrambling, asking, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Take your butt to work. Go to work.
Yeah, take your butt to work, as millions are being laid off. As a matter of fact, Kroger, which is a main grocery store, grocery chain in the United States of America just laid off another 1,000 people, right? You've got UPS laying off thousands and thousands and thousands of people. You've got Microsoft laying off thousands and thousands and thousands of people, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what kind of jobs these people are supposed to be getting, being that there's, you know, not too many of them available, and many of them are low paying and don't even meet basic needs after you get a paycheck, never mind pay rent, because we're slated to be a whole bunch of Tarzans and Janes in the jungle, I suppose in the big cities at this point, but you can still call it a jungle, swinging off of electrical cords. Yeah, okay.
Get a part-time job. Go.
Scrambling for food. Scrambling for food. As the people out in the streets are being poisoned with the drugs that are being fed to them, right? Because that little thing that I just showed you in the beginning of this video, the drugs are changing again, where they're really, 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 really bad, and making people go completely freaking crazy. And they're feeding the people food that's making them sick, which happens out here as well, right? You know, right? Food that makes them sick, gives them diarrhea, makes them puke, right? Give them stomach cramps and that kind of crap, right? And this is interesting. The water in some of these cities, what the cities are doing, where there's like I guess a high concentration of homeless people, or whatever area they want to, you know, genificate, right? To whatever. They've done something with the sewage lines where they're not being flushed out properly, and they're backdrafting through the piping system, and it's affecting the drinking water. Andre, is this not true? Hasn't our water coming out from the tap been smelling like freaking sewage? Yes, it has. And it's been going on for a couple of months now. It's like fucking, I'm sorry, boo-boo disgusting. And I'm like, you know, he says, well, call the city. I said, well, you know, he said, what can we do about it? I said, well, the only thing I could possibly do about it is call the city to ask them why it's like that. But I'm hoping other people are calling the city, because it's really bad. But I'm afraid to call the city, because if I call the city, who knows what's going to happen with that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Because of the gang stalking with their crap to free up the house for an immigrant family so they can get the kickbacks from the federal and the provincial government. So, you know, I don't know if it's an isolated incident, when it's just maybe my house being targeted, because we're dealing with a bunch of scoundrels that can manipulate this and do that, and or if it's because of all this building boom, or if it's because of the hot weather and the water reservoir, you know, is compromised, so that, you know, even though they're disinfecting it, it's still not enough. But at the end of the day, like it's for 2 months now. You're running the tap, you're trying to clear the line, and it smells like sewage. Not so much the smell as it is you can taste it. You can kind of, you know, as soon as you bring it to your lips and your nose and your taste buds, you know there's like sewage in there, you know. And I'm like, oh, are they recycling toilet water and that's what they're feeding us, or is it coming from the reservoir? Like, what the hell? But after hearing what I heard last night about cities going out of their way to block the sewage lines so that the backdraft of the smells and whatever is getting into the water table, where the, you know, through the piping system that produces water for drinking water, right, becomes infused with those smells and the residue of the backup of the sewage pipes. Because if the sewage pipes aren't being flushed out properly, it's just a matter of time before that smell, you know, it's like the blankets and the pillows and on Mari's clothes. If I don't get up on it every 2-3 days, at least by the third day, preferably if I could do it every day, that would be ideal. But I can't, right? And so, you know, by the second or third day, oh my God, it starts to permeate through the whole freaking house. So it's the same thing with these sewage pipes. And this homeless person was saying, yeah, that's what the city's doing. They're backing up the sewage pipes so that the smells get so strong that they start to permeate the the drinking water, so that, you know, when people want to drink water, they get disgusted with it, and it stinks, and it has an off flavor to it, which could very well be making them sick. So what the people themselves that are in that area having to face that issue are doing now are going and taking off the manholes and making it so that that backup of gases, sewage gases, because they're not being flushed through the lines properly, can escape. And then if they leave it open, and whatever else they do under the manhole, if they leave it long enough, it clears the line, and then the drinking water is clean again. And I'm wondering if that shit's happening out here. Is it an isolated incident just for our house, or is it all the houses? Because it's not changing. It's not changing, and it's disgusting. And, well, what can you do about it? I guess that's living in the big city, because, you know, you've heard people say, oh, well, you know, you're not getting fresh water coming in from a reservoir, right? You're getting recycled toilet water, what's coming in through your taps. So I don't know. Like, I don't fucking know here, man. It's like, this is pathetic.
Or volunteer at a community service, put in 20 hours a week there, and get your stamps and your benefits cut back on. Y'all don't want to do nothing but wake up and receive. Let's get into this video.
Well, even when you bring it to a state where you don't have to ask, right? You know what I'm saying? Outside of the basics of what you're already getting. In other words, I don't need that food voucher if they give it to me. I'm at the point where I don't even want to take it. If they hand it to me, I'll be like, what for? So you can hold it against me? Why? You know what I'm saying? If I need to, I'll buy it. I don't care if I have money. I can get child support. I can go off and buy a whole bunch more. I can use my credit card, or I can use my teeny weeny little welfare check to buy when I need it. When the point is I can buy it, right? But I can also go without, because I've done the food prep. Do you think these women actually appreciate that shit? Hell no. They're too busy trying to stir up the pot and make it where, you know, I lose even more of my belongings so that they can prepare me for the jungle and have me swinging off of freaking electrical cords so the cops can come and say that I'm vandalizing public property. And then I'll disappear. And be in a snuff movie like Sierra. Right.
Welcome back, good people. It's me, Michael B. Wiley, and this the Mikey Mike Show. Before we get into this video, I'd like to thank my...
Like, there's a lot of bad people in the world. Our governments have failed us through and through. Oh, they really have.
Showstoppers for tuning in each and every week. I appreciate you guys. You guys know I love you guys. And if you just found this
another
channel,
mouthpiece.
go ahead and hit that like
just
button.
Another
Press
mouthpiece.
that
That's all you got.
Hit
Conquer and divide. Right? Conquer and divide. Make people angry for those that maybe receive a little bit of help, right? That, you know, haven't quite figured out how to break free from that manufactured poverty, unless, of course, they want to go and be a porn star on OnlyFans. And be, you know what I mean, and bring in their F-boy to do it with them so they can make a little bit of more money and get that bag on, so they can run around and brag how fucking much, boo-boo much money they have because they managed to buy themselves a little house. Yeah, a house on freaking spreading your legs, you know, being a porn star on YouTube. Well, not YouTube, OnlyFans, on the internet. Being a porn star on the internet, you know, right? Either or, you know, that doesn't make you better than everybody else just because you managed to accumulate money that way and put it into a house that you don't want to share it with because you don't want to have kids, but yet you stalk me and my grandkids when it comes to that brain munching, half dead in the brain individual who stalks my family, right? And God doesn't like ugly. It's just a matter of time. What comes around goes around. Shimei was murdered, bottom freaking line, and Julian didn't do it by himself. It haunts her, people. It haunts her, and it's gonna haunt her right up into the very bitter end.
Hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I drop a video. Now let's get into this video. Now people are going crazy because Donald Trump has upped the requirements for you to be on public assistance and continue to get your benefits. Now, people are being lazy. People are being lazy. People are...
Who the hell is he to say that? As if he knows each and every individual that's on these social programs. Okay? That's just an opinion. But for vulnerable people or arrogant people, you know, it just gives them that little just to be able to justify their bully behaviors so they can go around abusing others. Yeah, let's just go on with what's going on here.
Are you guys that upset and that...
Whatever. You're like a broken record. There's too many of you talking like that. That's what YouTube likes, to spread distension. No solutions.
Apply.
What you're doing is you're just paving the way for a famine in your own country. You go better get into your backyard and start digging up some hunger stones, and then you can pass them out to the people and tell them what a good guy you are. Chew on this for a while. It will take away the hunger pain.
Applying for a part-time job.
Yeah, it's just whatever. Whatever.
Not other people respond.
They're just blabbling. This is what you call verbal diarrhea.
Excuse.
Still talking. Still talking. He doesn't care about hungry kids. He doesn't care about
go to a job.
Vulnerable young people. Because they can just go to the resource center that was provided to them by a bunch of social workers, right? So that they can go eat food that will make them sick. Hook up with other kids that will lead them down the garden path that will get them into an early death. Yeah. Or get them kidnapped so they can be trafficked and either put into a snuff movie within their local area or maybe shipped out to a different country so they can be hunted for profit. Yeah.
Whatever. I was there, I kid you not, for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Then I found out. The lady said, well, are you working? I said, no, ma'am. She says, well, you have to reapply.
Man, oh, man.
I said, reapply who? She was like, yes, ma'am, because you have been receiving benefits I've been receiving since December. So it's been, 8 months now? I'm like, I'm hoping and praying.
So what happened
went
to
out
her?
And got with another Pookie or got with another Shanae and did it again.
So I go to the food stamp office because I'm like, I'm hoping and praying. I'm not one of them ones that they cutting off. So I go up there. Mind you, the line is around the corner. I'm talking about wrapped around the building.
Yeah, because you're going to go into a famine. And as fast as these people are ending out in the streets, they will disappear just as fast. Because that's what government workers do. They snatch up on people and they just either die and disappear or they just disappear. I
was there 15 minutes before they opened and the line was ridiculous. So I stand in line for the 15 minutes. They started letting everybody in, get you a number, whatever. I was there, I kid you not, for about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Then I found out. The lady said, well, are you working? I said, no, ma'am. She says, well, you have to reapply.
Man, oh, man.
I said, reapply who? She was like, yes, ma'am, because you have been receiving benefits I've been receiving since December. So it's been, 8 months now that I've been receiving benefits. And she was like, because you're not working, you haven't been working since you've been receiving benefits, they stopped benefits. Yeah, I was so hurt leaving the food stamp office. I'm going to put the video, like when I first left, I was going to do a video when I first left, but I got distracted. I don't know what, that refrigerator is dang near boneless, and we got a couple of things in the pantry, but...
So she's got some sort of a family, because she said we, right? And her refrigerator is boneless. In other words, it's basically empty with just a few things in the pantry. Okay? This is psychological warfare on a domestic level of terrorism. I know what it feels like to be forced into very bad situations with a family with no resources. And I doubt this woman has a credit card to fall back on.
I don't even.
I paid in chicken and my all the price in that car. No.
I'm just gonna grab me a $4 Gorilla Unbeatable Meal Deal with my last little couple of dollars and pray.
You guys.
So what's this asshole got to say?
You guys. It's sad. It's sad. And then we're teaching our kids to do the same thing.
And we're teaching our kids to do the same thing. He's not saying that it's sad that kids are going hungry because of an illegal act that's putting families and individuals at risk to possible starvation and complete displacement within housing, so that they have the potential for injuries, harm, and early death. He's not sad for that. He's sad that, you know, you can't teach the next generation to go to the government and ask for help to feed your family, because if you do, you're a crook.
Repeat the same patterns.
Repeat the same patterns. Well, no, she's not teaching her kids to repeat the same patterns. She's in survival mode with her kids on the cusp of starvation because of assholes like this guy that is arrogant, self-serving, ornery, pompous, and thinks that he's God's gift to the planet and immune to any fault of his own when it comes to being superior, right? He's a superiorist. There is no such word, but he thinks he's above everybody else, especially those that are in this situation.
Continue down the same path. This is just a better form of begging.
And now she's begging.
A better form of begging. And we want to sit down and not go to work for the kids we created.
So how many likes did he get on
Kids
this?
shouldn't be mad at the government.
Look.
Kids shouldn't be mad at other people. Kids should be mad at their parents.
He got almost 400 likes for spreading hate.
Mad that they won't go.
That's what he did. He got almost 400 likes for spreading hate, while YouTube redirects the traffic to this dude, who in my opinion is an asshole, and is just talking verbal diarrhea. Okay, so I can only work at my pace. Nothing more, nothing less. Right? You know what I'm saying? And I do have to, as soon as I can get out this door, which will be in the next day or 2 or 3, I'm working on the porch. I already told Marcane. He didn't yell at me. He said, I'm not coming down. I have to do this. Da, 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 da. You know, and I think before we do downstairs, I think we should work on the porch and that little bit of mess that was made when we pulled everything out from the house because of the, the guy to patch up everything. So that's probably what's going to end up happening over the next week and a bit. So in the meantime, I got Hopefully the camera won't kick out. I should look for the cord, actually. I can't see. I need to get my long-term disability form filled out, have it approved, which will take a few months, assuming that it gets approved, and then go to the eye optometrist and try and get a few, I'll probably have to pay, right? A few different types of glasses for different things, right? One for computer, one for like what I'm doing now, because I prefer just my eyes. I don't like glasses, right? But sometimes I need, to see, right? And I've lost my other ones, so these ones don't even work. So in the meantime, I got a book here that says handcrafted gourmet lunch meats, because I want to teach. Now I have another book around here, and I'm so hoping Rhea didn't steal it, because I can't frickin' find it, and it's thick like this with a lot of recipes in it for sausage making, hot dog making, with or without nitrates, and obviously deli meats and that. So before I went off and bought another one, I just settled to, because we're going to start after these social workers are gone and I can relax. I'm going to teach Andre how to start making deli meats. And of course, when I told that to Marcane, "Oh, you're just taking on another project, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, yeah, well, you say that now, Marcane, until we come downstairs with a nice size chunk of homemade deli meat that Andre and I made just for you and Marina to have for your meals, because I bought an extra one of these because I already have one, right? And I said you can put 2 of these into one big pot, so we might as well make 2 at one time, right? So I got everything I need. I just need a little more space in the kitchen, and it's good. It has a little, uh-oh, something's missing. I think so. There's no thermostat on this. Or is this it? Oh no, that's the thermostat. That's the thermostat. It goes into the lid after the fact. That makes a nice. That's I'm so waiting for that. I'm so excited. I can hardly wait. So we're good to go. We just need to clear out a bit more of the kitchen, and then deal with the outside a bit, deal with the basement a bit, and once that's done, we'll be making homemade bread, whether sourdough or otherwise, with homemade lunch meats, with or without nitrates. And then because we're going to be getting into the sourdough, at first it will be just regular flour, but eventually, when I get a little more confident with it, I'll probably end up trying to make starter with home ground organic wheat, which is different than the white flour that you buy in the store, so it reacts different, right? It does. And start a starter with that. Either or, when we start doing the starters, I just got that for just easy peasy, easy reference, right? So we're good. We got everything that we need when it comes to that kind of stuff. What's this? These are just bags, which I can't put out on the porch outside because they'll get ruined. I really don't have room in a small bathroom, but anyway, we'll just put them there for now. And then what we're going to do right now, Andre, you got a whipping cream here that's been unopened. There is a whipping cream here that was unopened that you took out of the fridge? Well, that's no good no more. What? Yes, but it should have went into the fridge and I could have cooked it, Andre. That fridge downstairs is very cold. Whipping cream like this can go well past its due date, especially when it's not opened. I would have cooked it, Andre. Either or, that's okay. I just, please make an effort to stop taking things out of the fridge and forgetting to put them back in. I got a box of cans here and whatnot that were kicking around the house. So I just kind of put them all in here. Miscellaneous jars and whatever. That's not what we're dealing with right now. So we'll just move those out of the way. What I need to do is get into those, because I can't remember what's in them. I think one has to go downstairs for sure. One needs to be still emptied out into Mylar bags, smaller bags or jars or something. That's got cans in it, which I could take down the hall and put the cans in the hall once I can get into the closet. I'm almost done with the papers, right? You can see for that batch anyway. I don't know what's in this box. It's just a box. I like to keep the boxes until I'm done doing everything. So I don't know if I'm going to fold that box up just yet, right? And then, of course, see oats, that bottom bucket. Technically, it would be good to take it down because it's been large flake oats that are in Mylar bags. But before I can take it down, I have to organize. So, I'm just going to move that one up in there as I'm picking away in there. And then these other ones have rice and miscellaneous stuff, sugar, miscellaneous stuff, right? Which I'm using now more and more and more because, you know, the things that I'm doing with the Mari, right? You know, I'm trying to figure out, like, because moths, I have to put everything into containers and, either or. And when you do stuff like this can take all day just to go through what I'm doing right now. Yeah. So, what did you do? Well, I sorted out crap. Well, it doesn't look like it. Well, I did. I like to try and keep the rice with the rice, the miscellaneous beans with the beans, you know, right? Whatever. I'm doing laundry. You can hear the machine. That's just the first load for the day. Alright, I've got a few loads to do, so I'm going to, 3 for sure. If I can get in 4, because there's a couple of things, I got a big bag of socks that need to be washed up in the bathroom, just because, and then, you know, I have to put them someplace where they can dry, and it's just whatever. Okay, so I'm curious to know what's in here. Well, maybe these I should move down the hall. Work on moving that box down the hall and then putting those cans into that little cubby to get them out of sight. Yeah, to get them out of sight. Andre loves going into my room. When he wants something, he can find it. Yeah. He really loves it. See, I'm trying to figure out, like this has got things in there for Mari and stuff, right? It's just when you can't see like you used to, it just gets hard. This one I think is full of things which I would actually need right now for that turkey leg. So let's see, what's the Kinder Surprise in here? Well, what can we do? Just these little miscellaneous things. This is black mahole. It's like a little bean. So we'll give them some of those. What else is in here? Some JoJo berries. Yeah, so I'll do JoJo berries with turkey and these. What else is in here? And what's this? And a little bit of wheat. I'll pick those 3 for today. So I'll keep these out. And I put in a tablespoon or 2 at a time. And I have Andre look at the, you know, the beans, the lentils, whatever, before I rinse them and put them in the pan. So this is basically amari's. So technically what I should do is get a label and make it so I can see it, right, where it says amari. And I know this is one of his containers. Right? So it's easy to get to these things. And then after those are empty, that's when I can get into other buckets and other Mylar bags, and I can fill up smaller Mylar bags and put them into that same container after the fact. Okay, Andre, you're spilling like shit here and everything is sticky. Like you're not supposed to be pouring juice in here. That's what I mean. I need a functioning kitchen. You're getting juice everywhere. I can feel it. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Hold on. It's because we don't have a proper kitchen. That's why. Counters fill up fast. Okay, so I don't remember what's in here. And I didn't put labels on them because I was just in the middle of doing stuff. Whatever it is, it's fairly heavy. Oh boy. I love camel lids, man. Oh yeah. A woman's best friend. Definitely worth the investment. The only thing I don't like about them is these little rubbers can eventually give way. But other than that, as long as they're intact, they work pretty good. Okay, so what's in here? Yeah, see? We've got organic yellow peas. Organic black lentils. And these are all sproutable. You know what I'm saying? What else? I don't know. Something else. I gotta be careful because I want to. I'm starting to use this stuff now more, right? What's this? Doesn't say. But there's something in it. I don't know what's in it. I hate that when I do that. Let's see. Well, what were you doing, Miss Johnny? Well, I don't know. I was sorting out food. Okay, so here, what do we got here? I just put this in here temporarily because I was waiting for a jar, I guess. And I got jars now, so what is this? Yeah. Alright. So we're going to re-jar this up now. This is what we're going to do here. What is this? Oats. These are organic oats. Yeah, rolled organic oats. I already have a jar of oats. This is organic oats. That can be eaten up as the other jar is emptying out. So I'm just going to put this back in there for now. And something like that I wouldn't put downstairs because I don't even want to put those other things downstairs. I don't know. I'm not too sure what I'm doing. So we want to keep this handy. I don't think there's any room in that other bucket where I have those other oats. Those ones, that bucket can go downstairs, but I'd want to keep it close by so when I run out of oats, right, I can get to the bucket easy. So it's hard to say. And then we've got this bucket. What's in here? Okay, so it looks like this bucket I've already packed up. Nice. And there's water. So I don't know. And I guess paper towel. I can feel water. Where did the water come from? How the heck could water get in there? So this one obviously is ready to go downstairs. I don't think it has a label on it, so I'm going to put a label on it. What's in it? Look how nice. Look. What is it? Organic yellow peas. Yeah. Can't really see that well. Sproutable what? What is it? Beans. Moth beans. Okay. And the look how it's vacuum sealed in there with the oxygen absorbers. Nice and tight. Look how nice. That's nice. Yeah, that's real nice. They should be fine. Okay. So where's that? I don't think I have a label on this bucket. So now that I've got this open, yeah, I do. Moth beans, sprouting. Okay, they're not organic. Mung beans for sprouting, they're not organic. And then we've got organic yellow peas for sprouting. The moth beans and the other ones, they will grow. So, but those ones I bought from the grocery store because of PC points, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know if this is still recording or not. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, so this bucket has to go downstairs. Now, being that I got moths now, even if a moth was to get in this bucket before I screwed on the lid, it ain't gonna cause no harm to the food because the food is already in the Mylar bucket. I mean, Mylar bag. And the moth can't eat through a Mylar bag. Okay? So, I'm just saying. Because, you know, all it does is take sometimes just that 1 month to cause a problem. Okay, so this one's got to go downstairs. So what I'm doing, I'm figuring out which ones I can take downstairs to alleviate some of the congestion in here. Okay. And now we've got this bucket. What's in this bucket? And then we've got this big ass bucket. This is a 6-gallon size bucket. Or is it a 6-gallon? Yeah, I think it's a 6-gallon. It's full. It's heavy. So I'm pretty sure this one can go downstairs. Does it have a label on it? Did I put a label on it? No. So I don't know what's in it. Or maybe this one needs to be repackaged. As I was doing, right? But I got jars up there or whatever. Yeah, this seems to have just yeah, these I have to repackage, so I gotta repackage, do something with these today. Right? This one is, it says mung beans. Same kind of idea. So, alright, yeah, mung beans. So, I gotta do something with those. That's where I like those juice containers, those glass juice containers for Amari. I should have 2 jars here, so I'm gonna look for those and see if I can put them in there. What's this one? Yellow peas. Again, I was putting them in the jars. Oh my God. The moth again. So we got moth, mung, and organic. Okay, and we've got one going downstairs for sure. Got a big strategy, right? You know, it's not that. Okay, so let the social worker come in now, right? What do you think the social worker's going to say to me right now? If that person, those people came in and said something, what do you think they're going to say? Huh? What do you think? What have you been doing? You told us we were going to find it all nice and cleared out. Yeah, okay. I'm working on it. I have to think strategy. I don't want to go downstairs when I don't have to go downstairs any more than I have to. Oh, I've got my grandkids coming soon. I forgot about that. Keep it simple on yourself. Maybe get 1 size gallon. Maybe I'll just get 1 size gallon size Mylar bags. Some oxygen absorbers. And break them up into 2 separate 1 size gallon size jars. Put them back into a 6-gallon bucket. And then maybe keep the bucket upstairs so that I can start figuring, because like I said, like, you know, I'm like Amari's, right? You know, like, I don't know yet. I have to think about it, and thinking about it gets me into trouble, because then it takes time, right? It takes up time, right? And then you lose time and you get behind on things, but it's not that you get behind on things, it's when people expect you to do things their way, even though, and then it, whatever. Okay, so this bucket here, I should leave upstairs for myself with these in 1 size gallon jar, but 1 size gallon, at least once. Okay, I know how I'm going to do this. heavy load. That's what that is. That's a heavy load. I think there's probably pillows in that. That's why. It's gonna kick out in a minute, and then I have to balance the tub. I'm gonna go get some smaller Mylar bags, 1 size gallon oh my god. Oh, hold on. I gotta hold the machine, right? I gotta hold the machine so I can start to. That's pillows. This is that's what I deal with. Washing pillows. Yeah. And blankets. And whatever else I've got going on in here. No. We need you to spin out. We need you to spin out. Wants to cheat. Doesn't want to spin itself out. So this is why I like this machine. It's such a hardy little machine. It's a General Electric that I bought when I got kicked out of my house at Wally's. When I moved into that apartment. I had it for years and years, same model. And then after moving in here, finally, whatever. And then I bought this one on Craigslist for $100. Same model, same make. And I tell you, it's such a good machine. Yeah. Come on, baby. Yeah. I'm holding the machine. Can you see? With my leg. Come on. I have to spin it out. So it's not just simply to do laundry. It gets a little more complicated than that sometimes. It's not going to like it. It's still not very balanced in there, I can tell. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh, come on, Lucille. Come on. Annabelle. Come on. We can do this. Come on. I like touching soapy water. Yep. What happened? Come on. We just gotta get it spinning. Like the good old days. This is better than a wringer washer any day. Or even a little Hoover. Right? Oh my God. I'm having such a hard time with this one. We're not doing too good. can't pick up speed. No. I don't like washing pillows, but I have to. I wash them all the time, every week. Every week. It's pillows is what it is. This one can't pick up the speed on it. Taking too long. I'm holding it. That's what's happening here. There, now start. There we go. Go, baby, go! You're such a good girl. I love you. I love this machine, people. You don't know how much I love this machine. What a good freaking machine. They don't make them like they used to, I'm telling you. Oh my God. Can you hear it? She's purring like a baby now. You go, girl. You go. Your mommy's so proud of you. Oh yeah. Thank you so, so much. I'd buy another one like this on Craigslist, providing that it wasn't used and abused any day. Any day. Oh yeah, this is, there you go. She's purring now. Purring like a kitten. Oh yeah. Now I can walk away with it. I just had to help it there for a minute. What you got? It was, well, I'm trying to figure out what buckets I want to keep upstairs and what I want to put downstairs.
Is it okay if you just start getting a small swiftly?
I don't know, Andre, you're supposed to save that money.
Just a small one. They're still having their sale. It's still $2.
What time is it? Because these kids are going to be here.
153. That's why I'm getting a small.
Oh, look at this. Another bucket with little miscellaneous stuff inside.
Dinner. Can I go?
Pistachios.
Yeah.
What?
Can I go? Get a small one?
Oh, I don't know, just pencil Amari in, okay? I'm kind of busy, right?
I'll run there on my back.
Do we need milk or anything? No, I don't want to buy milk from the corner store. Okay, so I don't know what to do here. I don't know what I should do. This kind of stuff doesn't need to go downstairs these days because I want to use them more regularly. And I don't need to... I have in my room, but I don't want to touch those ones until I've got them in those glass jars with the oxygen absorbers. So they're very good. Organic yellow peas, whole peas, organic green peas, whole. So maybe we'll just leave these like this for now. Is there a label on this? I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. Sometimes I have to sleep on it. I was waiting for jars. But Andre's been giving Amari more cranberry juices and the prune juices in the plastic containers versus the glass ones, right? And I know I had 2 glass, but I only see 1 over there, so 1 went missing. So hold on. Okay, so here's another one of these individuals that like to take people's situation and tweak it and get their followers angry against people that depend on, I guess, food stamps, right? EBT cards. And this is an old black woman, yeah. Probably sitting up on a pension plan. You know what I'm saying? Getting rich off of the demise of the misery of others. 128K subscribers. You can see. Right? How many likes did she get on this video? Where are the likes? This is where YouTube redirects traffic. Right? 15K likes. Right? As long as it's, you know, slapping somebody else down. You know what I'm saying? 151K views in the last 8 days. Okay, so let's just listen for a minute. So, food stamp meltdown at Dollar General. Wow, big spender. They're at Dollar General. But that's all they can afford to buy, right? At Dollar General, at her EBT card got declined. She snaps on the cashier. Yeah. So like I said, there's lots of them. Right?
Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. We y'all. Do I have a nut job for y'all today?
Do I have a nut job for you all today?
This lady goes inside a Dollar General
Another black lady.
store and uses her EBT card. She gets upset.
Are you looking to us?
Why are we not surprised?
Very upset. Because her card is declined. Ooh. And when you see why her card is declined, you're gonna be, well, I'll be damned. Yeah, I'll be damned.
This is what she does. She finds vulnerable people to do this so she can make money on YouTube. And that's where YouTube redirects their traffic. And if you look at her eyes, look at her eyes. She looks stoned.
Well, let me tell you, there's some slick people out here today getting over. Getting over, no matter what age they are. You got some old ones too, they getting over too. And they don't think nothing wrong with it. They think they deserve everything they got. Everything that they get from the taxpayers. They deserve it.
Conquer and divide.
And you don't deserve a better life. You only deserve to keep on paying your taxes. That is a must. Keep on paying your taxes.
Do you see how she's feeding into the hype? Getting people angry and arrogant and haughty and self-righteous and pompous and vindictive and spiteful and retaliatory, right? She's not feeding into anything except for what's negative. Yeah.
Or you're gonna go to...
She doesn't know this woman's circumstances. She doesn't know who's in that woman's house and who that woman is responsible for and how many mouths that she has to feed. Could be her parents, someone old like this individual. I wanted to call her a hag because she acts like a hag. You know, the old wicked witch with the apple. You know, the one that wants to draw in little children, say, let me help you, and then throw them into a cage to fatten them up and eat them.
Jail.
Jealous of Snow White and Sleeping Beauty and gotta prick their fingers and bite into an apple so they fall asleep because the hag itself is ugly, full of self-hate.
You don't help take care of us if you miss paying your taxes. I know a lot of people don't see it that way.
If she couldn't talk the shit that she talks, nobody would go see her. But because she talks shit, YouTube sends traffic her way. And because she's black, birds of a feather flock together. Right? Take away the black face, take away the narrative, take away the video that she uses as a representation for content to bash other people. And I guess she likes to bash black people because she feels safe that she can do that because she herself is black. So don't say that I'm being racist when I'm black bashing you, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, but hell I do. You don't.
I've watched a couple of her videos and I don't like her. She's extremely cynical and I personally don't think she's anybody to talk. No.
Don't pay your taxes, what happens? They come.
Okay, so alright, yeah. Feed into the hype, get everybody all pissed off. Right?
Alright, it says insufficient funds. That's a lie, because I got something on my phone. You telling a lie.
You telling a lie. It says insufficient funds. You telling a lie. It's showing her right there on the screen that the card cannot be used. I'm talking.
Well, first of all, ain't nobody gonna go to the grocery store, go through the aisles, gather up a bunch of crap, or Dollar General or wherever, which is buying dollar groceries. You know, it's like the dollar store. You go buy a can of something for $1.25, whatever. Clearly, the woman is struggling, and she's not going to go through all that, spend the money to get there, whether she drives or takes a bus, or even the energy to walk to the freaking Dollar General, to turn around and take a card that she knows that has no funds in it just to cause trouble. Like, grab a bloody brain, right? You wicked witch. Because ain't nobody gonna do that just for what? Like, who's recording that? Like, first of all, was that just somebody behind her making, you know, a recording and then put it up on freaking TikTok or wherever, hoping it would go viral and have people like this individual and all those other ones like her to snag in it so they can sit up there and criticize and ostracize, demoralize, criminalize, and all this other crap so they can conquer, divide the people so that they can elevate themselves and get rich off of YouTube algorithm because YouTube likes to promote that crap. Yeah, okay. Do you hear my baby machine purring? It's spinning. So it only was out of balance for that first little stage. But because I had to move things around and whatever, and it was like with all the soap and stuff, and it was the homemade soap that I make with the borax and crap. Oh my god. I went into a hacking fit after the fact, and Andre walked in. He goes, "Oh, that is so strong." In terms of the soap, right? Because I put a little extra in there to, you know, wash out that urine smell, eh? Yeah.
That's using the card, you know, there's a screen right there for you to see the customer. But she's calling the lady a lie. So she thinks the lady is doing something on her end, on her screen, clicking on something that make her card decline.
Oh yeah, and you're such an intelligent old woman. Yeah, people just lap it up.
Get your choice of juicy grass-fed beef or
happens. Never happened. I know somebody who did that. Wasn't me. I know somebody who did it. He told it and told it and told it. Nothing never happened to the chick. Nothing. Maybe sometime, but hardly ever.
You sure? I'm sure it says insufficient funds. I think you lied. Somebody lied. Okay.
She showed her the screen. You have been declined. So the lady ain't lying. Do you think she owe that lady an apology? She does. But she's so ghetto and ratchet.
There you go.
She ain't gonna do it.
She ain't gonna do old black woman calling other black women ghetto and ratchet.
Do you think she would talk about
everything
her like
YouTube
that?
likes?
Do you think she would be
I'm just
rude?
saying.
Do you? I doubt it. I doubted y'all.
Yeah.
Let me do that. There's people in here. Stop here till I get here.
Look at her. Look at her. Come on. The lady following her. She's like, come on, come on, come on, come on. She thought the lady was scared. She thought the lady wasn't going to come outside with her. That's what she thought. You can't do that to all white people. A lot of them not afraid of you. Okay? And some of them will beat your ass. You think white people can't fight too? Some of them can.
So I guess that woman got a little ballistic in there. Because, you know, she probably had mouths to feed. And was one of those households that were going from month to month with the bare minimum when it comes to groceries, with a whole bunch of mouths to feed, with just, you know, the limited resources that they had access to. And she going home with nothing. Yeah. So, of course, she would react, right? Let's just move it forward.
Move right along.
All right, man, where you go? You insane. Get your change. Well, ready. Ooh. Tell your trip to New York right here, mess me up. They have a go for they come. No. I'm good to go.
Sorry about that audio. It was hard.
I'm just saying, people. All right. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Modern women are struggling by Trump's new EBT food stamps. And Section 8. All right, so do we watch this one or do we watch World of Foosh? The eviction process. Oh, that's another eviction video, right? Doesn't talk about what happens to the people after the fact. Just shows the drama around it and geeks people up to try and get more people evicted out of their houses, right? Because, you know, the ones that are getting evicted are clearly something wrong with them. Yeah, okay. Come say that to me. My mom paid her rent. This paperwork is not legal. And you know he's probably mocking the whole situation, right? I'm sorry, it is what it is. Okay, and then there's this one. They did not forget about those PP loans. Okay, so it's another string of other people's videos put together to, you know, make people angry against other people. And then we've got this one. Landlady stormed in to evict a single mom for unpaid rent. And then she saw what, and I'm just reading right here, was in the apartment. She dropped and noticed, she dropped the notice and cried. So I don't know, kind of, you know, that could be clickbait, right? And then no more food stamps. Here's another one. Food stamps are gone. People are furious. This is somebody else that just did this a day ago, right? And I don't know who bonnets in public. Lazy, ghetto, and uncalled for. Like, what the hell, man? Like, serious. This is what YouTube freaking promotes, man.
70 square inches of non-stick
Wait
grilling.
until people start starving.
What
like, really starving.
Steal.
Oh, that's okay.
So Donald
They'll
Trump
just
and
get
the food stamp
more and more
office really played in my face yesterday, because why was the food stamp app saying that I no longer qualify? Oh, my case doesn't exist. All these red little pop-ups and messages. I couldn't get into the Connect EBT portal. I damn near had a heart attack.
Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at some more freeloaders who are freaking out.
Okay, that's a white dude. That's a white dude's voice. Or this is AI. Could be a black person doing the AI script, whatever, and then using a voice for his little video, because currently I don't see anybody in terms of a image to suggest that we're dealing with a real human being here, right? Because you got to watch for those AI videos that are being pumped out now on YouTube that are like designed to again manipulate people into thinking certain kind of ways and reacting on emotions that are triggered through, you know, building in aminosity for those below a certain income level, mainly.
New EBT and food stamp restrictions that are going to be taking effect soon here. We got a good one for you today. Let's get
Oh, we got a good one. This woman was taking advantage of the situation, and we're gonna roast her hard.
I am so dumbfounded right now. There are people that genuinely think that people who use EBT don't deserve soda, candy, or desserts. You're gonna tell me that my daughter doesn't deserve a popsicle? You're gonna tell me I don't deserve to get brownies? You're gonna tell me I can't have a Dr. Pepper with my dinner? And all I'm hearing is, be grateful, be grateful. It's free food. Get off of your...
And then they use the same videos over and over again. I noticed that, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. As if it's new content. Yeah.
Us taxpayers.
So this could be AI generated by anybody. I don't see no face.
Didn't buy your new car, your nice nails, or the new iPhone. Those are the reasons you're one day away from financial ruin. That's not us, that's you. So instead of...
Yeah, again, just assuming, basing his opinion, its opinion on presumptions, right?
You being entitled and expecting handouts from the government and us taxpayers learn...
I hate videos like this. YouTube is infested with them. Literally. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Infested with it. And they shadow, and this is where they redirect all their traffic to these kind of channels. Yeah, as they continue to shadow ban my channel. I'm just wanting to hear what these stories are coming up a little bit. I'm gonna end this video soon.
Those are the reasons you're one day away from financial ruin. That's not us, that's you. So instead of you being entitled and expecting handouts from...
No, I have a house full of food, right? I actually have housing security at this point. How much longer after these social workers are done remains to be seen. Okay, you know what I'm saying? There's other things I have to work on before what they want me to work on. Not that they have a right to tell me to do what they want me to do, because they don't. Which might lead me to sign up to OnlyFans so I can go hire a lawyer versus having to fight for one for legal aid so that I can keep my stuff without being bullied, so they can come back in 6 months to a year to 2 years from now and start the process all over again. And that's assuming that I make it through what I'm going through right now with them. And I didn't do that to myself, okay?
The government and us taxpayers learn how to save, learn a skill, get a better job, and you'll be just fine. You don't need us. You gotta take some accountability.
This is what you call condescending and mocking.
For your own life.
So yes, I am on my way to the county building since they won't answer their phones. Because they're just so busy. They're so busy. There's so many. The volume of calls is so high. Look at this shit. And it's still early. I'm about to get right up in this line. My GR came in my car.
Yeah, here comes your famine. But that's okay. The government will cover it up because people will disappear off the streets as fast as they're disappearing out into the street, off the streets. As fast as they're disappearing off the streets, new ones are coming onto the streets. Why do you think they're trying to disappear the people off the streets? Because all these people that are being cut off are going to end up, many of them, onto the streets. So you got to get rid of the ones that are on there right now, as many as you can, to compensate for the ones that are coming. And it's going to be, it's Soylent Green, people. That's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with some serious criminal activity. Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. And I'm assuming they just opened, so we're off.
Just like they're having their food stamps cut off, they're not going to be able to afford rent, they're not going to be able to afford their bills, any kind of bill. They're going to end up, a lot of these people are going to have their houses implode, their children will be taken away from them. Even if they go to a shelter, there's no guarantee that they're going to survive that storm and come out ahead of the game, where they'll have secure housing with the ability to be able to have food in the house for their children. Chances are the family's going to be split apart. Yeah, a lot of parents are going to have nervous breakdowns. And yeah, the children will be trafficked within the system, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're just going to put the child into foster care and prop up those do-gooders that take these vulnerable children. And we know that, what is it? Something like 180,000 children within when the immigrants were crossing over the American border from Mexico, coming in, like something like 80,000 or 180,000 of them all disappeared within the foster care system. Not including the children, the American children disappearing within the foster care system.
Like taking steps together.
Children just don't disappear.
Literally the last in line, so right now
but they do when they're in the foster care system, because if Amari disappears into the foster care system and they're successful at completely removing me as his primary caregiver, you don't think he's not going to disappear? No, okay.
I had work at 5, so I got all the time today. Like, literally all the time today. I made it up here pretty fast. It's 9:48 right now, so I thought it would be a good idea to get my verification of income so that whenever I do need it, I'll just have it. She told me to wait and wait for my name to be called. Hopefully I don't...
Can you hear all those people?
Hopefully my ADHD doesn't get the best of me and I don't hear my name getting called, but I'm going to try to listen very, very closely. Alright. Alright. Thank you. Oh my God, I got my vision board. Yes, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, yay, yay.
Tamika Johnson.
Yay, 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 I got my bag.
You're telling me you can spend all day with...
I worked real hard for it. I'm better than everybody else. Oh, yeah. I just haven't gone international in terms of being an international porn star yet. Not yet, but soon I'll be a millionaire. Yay!
Waiting for an EBT card, but you can't work a job. I think it'd be a better return on your investment for us taxpayers and yourself to just go
Just
wait.
have him contact Tamika Johnson and she'll hook him up. Right? She got game. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she'd like to be a madame. She'll make more money.
In line at the employment agency. But no, that's too much work. We're just gonna swipe on ticket.
You know what they say, bump that hoe, right? You gotta bump that hoe, right? Bump that hoe.
Talk all day. Up next though.
As long as you're the main, I'm getting rusty on my game here. The main squeeze. It's okay to have a few sisters in line with you standing on the block, right? As long as you're the main squeeze, it's all good. Just bump that hoe.
We have a pretty awesome video of a lady who's not happy about the new EBT restrictions. Let's take a look.
So the people who are getting kicked off of EBT or severely cut, but there are no jobs, but the government's like, if you want to eat, you have to have a job. What's the workaround? How is that going to work?
You know, that's a very good question. But there's work out there. You just haven't been hungry enough to go find it. You see?
Verbal diarrhea, people. That's all it is verbal diarrhea. See? Another one. Black woman doing the same crap. Right? Begging is easier than paying rent. Going into other people's videos and making mockery statements about other people's problems. And then there's this dude. Oh, where is he? I just seen him. I don't know. What was this? The end of the black woman who calls herself... Okay, no, not that one. I guess it's this one. Yeah, another guy. A different kind of black guy, but the same kind of crap. Right? Looking for people on having whatever it is and just running with it. YouTube laps it up. They lap it up, people. Yep. Like it's disgusting. I don't know. I think I need a YouTube break. And I guess maybe this guy, another black guy, commenting on this black woman, I guess, going off at hospital snaps on hospital staff, and it ends bad. Well, what's going on here? You know, this is popular content on YouTube. People cruising the internet for other people's videos. Should I worry about that data so they can stress less about do security. The smash, get protection smash and insult identity exclusively from TELUS. Reaction.
If you're gonna get anything done, you need a vehicle you can rely on. Our trucks hold their ground, just like the people who keep this country moving. Because
we filed with the court, and at that time, the judge may say no. And then
I don't care. I don't care. This is wrong. This is Yale New Haven Hospital. We got DCF people in this building trying to take my daughter from me, and this is not okay.
So
this is not okay.
Amalia's phone number on your.
This is not okay. This is not okay. Y'all harassed me. Y'all kept me in the hospital. Y'all kept me hostage. We not doing this. Make this go viral, y'all. Make this go viral, y'all. Make this go viral.
This is already been how long ago was this done?
Make this go viral. They want to harass me. I don't care.
7 days ago.
Y'all gonna get these people on my
this
room.
is an old video.
That's what y'all gonna do. Make this go viral, y'all.
I seen this a couple months ago.
Yeah, no. I'm not. No, y'all need to close my door. Y'all need to close my door.
They're rehashing old stories.
Make this go viral. How Yale kept me hostage in here, talking about that they wanted to figure out what was going on with DCF. They trying to take my baby because my other daughter passed away. So yeah, let's do this. No, we need to
this woman is in serious. You know what? It just makes me. I turned off the camera by accident because I'm like having serious panic attacks. Because I can relate with this young woman. I seen this video several months ago. I guess this is the guy that's running the show now. Another black guy that is like, you know, I don't know. I don't think he's being sympathetic to it. Probably not. No, probably not.
These guys, they get off on this shit, I'm trying to tell you. And I told you could have called me, talked to me, anything. No, y'all need to back the hell up. This is... The trash was 5 fucking minutes long. Y'all think I'm about to just give y'all my baby? Y'all got to...
Yeah.
Because of nonsense like this, like, I mean, it's unfortunate for her. I don't feel any type of way about this woman, but I feel a type of way about my woman. So, yeah, I would hate for my wife to ever feel this unprotected. You know, as a real man, this makes you go above and beyond and make sure everybody's always protected.
Amen. I went out my way anytime, the missus had to go to the hospital. So they...
Okay, so these are good guys, maybe. I don't know.
I left the hospital, I could bring my baby home. So, there's levels to this.
Done and done. The only thing, last thing they check is make sure you got a car seat. That's it. Well, you got a car to stand on. You lost one child to the grave and one to Child Protective Services. Now it's a third one. What leg are you have to stand on? I'm waiting. And you are very unwell. You done lost all your kids one way or another. You talking about you at peace.
And right now she has a GoFundMe. So she's trying to raise $4,000. She says, this is my lawyer fees. These will help me in the case. So please donate.
Stand with a mom fighting for her kids. No context.
You a lie, and the truth ain't in you.
See? Mocking. Conquer and divide. Okay, so now we're at $7.47. This is today, same day, same video. It was $7.27. Then it went to $7.02. Then it went to $6.66, and then now it's $7.47, and all that in 2 days. Like, how does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. Like, and then I'll come back, and it'll probably be $7.14. Like, it's stupid. Right? Stupid. You know? Like, stupid. And then, of course, we got Tamika Johnson's doughboy, or her little friend, coming in and thumbsing it down with their little gang-stalking selves, while YouTube continues to shadow ban about what's going on with my family. Yeah. Yep. So that, you know, people don't catch wind of what social workers are trying to do now when it comes to the smash and grabs. Right? The smash and grabs. Get rid of this, get rid of that. We'll help you. We'll have people come in and
pack it up for you and take it out for you. Like, no, that's okay. I don't think so, right? I don't got much left. I've already lost way too much. What makes you think I want to start, you know, you going in for the kill? Is that it? Yeah, okay. The eviction process. You are behind $2,500 in rent. That's why you're getting evicted. World of Foosh, done 2 months ago. 53K views. Yeah. Doing the same old crap the rest of these people are doing. Yep. If people didn't post their crises on the internet, or if these sheriffs that go in and evict people with the recordings, I often wonder, if you're a sheriff, you're going into somebody's house to evict them, right? Because it's not their quote-unquote house anymore. And you're recording everything that's going on. How does it that those videos get up on YouTube? I'd like to know. And then have people like this rub salt into the wounds, put mud on the face. You know what I'm saying? Throw them to the curb, right? Right? I don't know. Seems like a setup to me. Right? Is that public information? Sheriffs and cops, even with the cops. You see those videos with the cops with their, you know, their little recorders, their little camcorders, right? Recording their arrests and this and that and everything else. Next thing you know, you got a whole video around it on YouTube. Okay. Anyway, I think I'm going to have to take a YouTube break pretty soon. Yeah, I think so. EBT meltdown. 12 states ban soda, candy, class war, or common sense. It's more than candy and pop. It's all frozen foods, pre-baked goods like muffins and cakes and that kind of stuff. You know, ice cream, popsicles, you know, frozen chicken McNuggets, French fries, TV dinners. Apparently, they're not allowed to buy that anymore. They're not allowed to buy cookies. Nothing. Not very much. I guess they're doing that so that they don't have to give them more money. I'm going to end it on this because this is just... I guess the government is doing this so they don't have to give them more money to pay for the food that's so expensive when it comes to the meats, the vegetables, or anything really. Meats, vegetables, dairy products. Yeah. Versus increasing, you know, the... Stop it! Hey! Okay? Versus giving them a little extra money to pay for the inflation, well, hyperinflation or whatever it is that's going on in our grocery stores. They're just making it so they can't buy the quote-unquote little extras in order to buy the meat, the eggs, the milk, the butter, right, or margarine, the breads, you know, the beans and potatoes and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then they're just putting spin to it. Yeah. Yeah. Can't buy pop. I don't even think they can buy juice. No. Because it's got sugar in it, right? Fucose sugar. Where somewhere else, you've got, and you know, and I don't see no social workers in any of these videos except for that last one at the hospital, because they were going to apprehend the child, right? Outside of that, I don't, none of these videos do I ever see a social worker coming in and offering help. No, not one.
Not one.